Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this installment of ASEC Conversations. Joining us today is Julie Giese, President of Phoenix Raceway. At this time, I'll turn it over to our host, Ashley Hammett. Ashley?
Hello, thank you for joining us today. So you have been working in a predominantly male field for most of your life. Could you have ever imagined your career path when you were studying agriculture at Wisconsin River Falls?
No, the simple answer to that is absolutely not. I grew up a race fan, and I loved watching races with my family. And when I went to college, agriculture, I grew up on a dairy farm. So agriculture is what I knew. It's what I only really was involved with. And about 3/4 of the way through my college career, I realized I wanted to maybe get into marketing. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? I could do like racing. I mean, why not? Like motorsports is all about marketing and sponsorships and everything else. So I kind of was like, let's give it a shot. But never in my wildest dreams would I, like as a kid watching races growing up in Wisconsin, did I think I would ever be driving to a racetrack every day to go to work.
Can you tell us about the various roles you've held within the industry?
Absolutely. So I actually joined the motorsports industry in 2001 at a track in upstate New York called Watkins Glen International. I started as an entry-level position. It was a public relations manager, and Watkins Glen is an absolutely excellent location and track to really learn. At the time when I was there, it was a smaller staff, and everybody how to learn how to do everything. And you got a lot of different experiences, had the ability to do a lot of different things. So during my time there, I was able to grow into more of a director role, overseeing advertising and marketing. And in 2004, I had the opportunity then to move to Daytona International Speedway. So Watkins Glen and Daytona are owned by the same company. That's part of the France family. And so I had this great opportunity to go to the World Center of Racing in Daytona Beach and leave the winters behind, and spent about 12 years at Daytona. So I started there as the director of communications. And when I left there in 2016, I was the vice president of marketing. So from there, I actually turned in the marketing hat for the construction hat. And joined our construction arm with International Speedway Corporation. During my time at Daytona, I worked a lot with, we underwent a $400 million renovation while I was there. And as part of that, I kind of became by default a project manager for the track. And once we finished Daytona, the company was just getting ready to embark on the project out at Phoenix Raceway. And the design and development team, the construction team, actually approached me to see if I would join their team and do something similar for the Phoenix team that I did in Daytona and become that project manager. So I spent about 2 years with the design and development team working, on the construction project, out in the field, out here in Phoenix, about a week a month. And at the end of that project, as we were getting ready to open, there was an opportunity for the president role. I threw my hat in the ring, honestly, to just get the experience and see what the process looked like. And that was October of 2018. I got the job and have been out here ever since.
You say that your business is 24/7 and that you are just as busy, if not busier, planning for an event as you are executing it. Can you elaborate and share what a typical non-race day looks like for you?
Absolutely. The great thing about our job and my job is every day is different. And you get to do so many different things. There's so many different opportunities. And I think if you ask anyone on the team, executing the events is probably the easy part of our job. It's all the planning and preparation that goes into it, because you're hosting 100,000 plus people over a week of events. Our campers move in that Monday before race weekend, and they're there for the full week. So we're spending a lot of time just really planning for them and making sure that the experience that they get while they're here is absolutely the best experience that they can have. But then how do we continue to evolve what we do and like reinvent that fan experience each and every time? How do we reinvent how we go to market? Are there new things that we can be doing to promote Phoenix Raceway? And then for us too, it's not just about those 2 NASCAR races, which obviously are incredibly important for us, one of those being the championship this year. But how do we diversify what we do out at the track? We want to continue to host different events. And so we're continually trying to just uncover all the different opportunities that are available to us and just keep knocking on doors to see what else we can do.
Phoenix Raceway includes innovations not found at other tracks in similar venues. Can you share what these are?
Absolutely. I think the biggest one for us and what we're most proud of is just the technology that we have out at Phoenix Raceway from a Wi-Fi perspective. We are the only track on the motorsports circuit that I'm aware of that has Wi-Fi literally from the moment you walk into the venue all the way through your experience in your seat. Some of our other tracks have Wi-Fi in different hotspots throughout the property, but for us, it's literally the moment you walk into the gates, into your seat, if you walk into the infield, through the pedestrian tunnel, through the midway, you have that connectivity. And as we all know, that's what everybody wants today. They want to be able to share their experience. They want to send pictures and show what a great time that they're having. And also, ask questions if they're, hey, where do I find this? And interact with the track on social media as well. So that's a big piece for us and something we're incredibly proud of. We're a huge property. We're 600 plus acres. We've got 5,000 campsites. But that experience, once you come through the gates, you are absolutely connected. And it works in our favor too, because we want people to see what a great time our fans are having. And they like the whole fear of missing out, right? You see these great pictures and it's like, man, I should have been there. I'm going to go next time.
You are currently the only female president of a major NASCAR track. Does that create any added pressure for you?
It's a great question. And honestly, it's a question I get all the time. And I'm sure it probably does. I really don't look at it that way. I say I grew up in this sport. I've been here in this industry for almost 20 years. And I started at an entry-level position and just continued to work my way up. And this is a family. This is a group of individuals who really want to see you succeed. And I feel like I have the support of everyone in the industry. So it's, I've never looked at it as I'm a female, I need to approach it differently. I always just look at it as I'm going to outwork everybody. Like that's what my parents taught me, to just outwork everyone, and that's how I approach it.
You also have been tasked with bringing new types of events to Phoenix Raceway beyond NASCAR. What have you or are you hoping to bring to the Valley, and how much does the new facility help you with that?
Well, the new facility is a tremendous help for us. I think honestly, up until the renovation, we were so limited in what we could do. Now we have this, essentially it's a brand new property, and we have new event spaces that we can use for rentals. We have a beautiful venue, 25,000 square foot structure called the Barn. That's all natural barn board and lighting, bistro lighting inside. It's just a beautiful venue, great location. For things like weddings and conventions. The governor hosted his State of the State in that building earlier this year. We've done things already from lobster boils on the start-finish line. We can do ride and drives. We do holiday lights shows, just a little bit of everything. I have said to me, it's a blank sheet of paper. So if there's an idea, I want to look at it and see if we can do it out at Phoenix Raceway. We are certainly first and foremost a racetrack, and motorsports is our most important revenue stream. However, we want to be an entertainment destination, and that could be event rentals for meetings, again, team building events with ride and drives, lobster boils for your clients and things like that, and then bring the family out for Zoomtown Lights or other holiday events that we do.
Phoenix Raceway is scheduled to host the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series Championship. What opportunities does this bring to not only your track, but to the greater Phoenix area?
Honestly, it's funny. Every time we talk about championship, I get goosebumps. It's still hard to believe that it's happening, but we're so proud of that. And it's a tremendous opportunity. It's obviously a tremendous opportunity for Phoenix Raceway. But you talk about Phoenix and the state of Arizona. We have always had a very strong NASCAR presence, and that comes with some national exposure. Now by hosting the championship, this puts us on an international map, and we become the focus for the entire motorsports industry for that weekend. And again, that's not just about Phoenix Raceway, that's about Phoenix. The NASCAR has said the reasons that Phoenix was chosen for championship, which was actually the first time in 18 years that the sport has moved their championship, they chose to move it to Phoenix, were a number of reasons. One, we have a venue that's absolutely first in class and something to be incredibly proud of. We put on really good races. The on-track product is very good. We continually sell out the event. Certainly you want your championship to be full, all the stands to be full and people to be enjoying themselves. But the other piece was the market. First of all, our industry absolutely loves coming to Phoenix. They love this market. They spend multiple days here, and our race fans do too. So for us, this is a market that NASCAR wants to be in. And I think about, we already draw from over 50% of our fans being out of state. I think we're only going to see that continue to grow, which means driving tourism, driving economic impact for our state and for our community.
The COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted our country and the world and has dramatically impacted the 2020 NASCAR schedule. With a revised schedule that kicked off on May 17th, do you think that NASCAR can or will serve as a model for other sports entities to return to action?
The NASCAR team has worked in collaboration with our public health officials, with our medical experts, state and federal officials to implement a comprehensive plan to ensure the safety not only of our competitors, but of the communities that we're racing in. It's a tremendous responsibility, but also a tremendous opportunity, and we're really looking forward to it.
NASCAR is a sport known to be very connected and close to its fans. How has this pandemic affected the relationship not only on but off the track?
I think of all the sports, NASCAR has taken advantage of a really unique opportunity from an esports perspective. We have been able to stay connected with our race fans through the iRacing Pro Invitational Series. This is actually something that put the drivers, the stars of our sport, in simulators and racing every weekend on Fox. And you get to see your favorite drivers: Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott. Dale Earnhardt Jr. came back out of retirement. Jeff Gordon's come back out of retirement to run in these sim races. And it's been a tremendous success. Over 1.3 million viewers were watching each race, which was a record from an esports broadcast perspective. And I think the most important thing, obviously it allows us to stay connected with our current fans, but we've been able to reach new fans. There were over 1 million unique viewers that watched an iRacing event that had not tuned into one of the first 4 real life races. So now we're opening up our sport to a whole new crowd.
Last August, you were honored by Sports Business Journal as part of its 9th annual Game Changers, Women's in Sports Business. Do you see yourself as a game changer?
No. I'm sure. I mean, it's a tremendous honor. I am somebody who, I have never been somebody who's been comfortable in the limelight. I like to be the behind the scenes person. I'm an operational mind. I like to make sure that things are running and are as successful as possible. I'm definitely proud of the award and to be part of that crowd, just the names that were there that day and what people do and the impact that they've made in their business and their sport. It was a tremendous honor to be just recognized with that group.
What advice would you give to a young woman today interested in a career in sports management?
Don't be afraid of hard work. It's not a male-female thing. Sports is hard. It's long hours. You don't work 9 to 5. You're racing on weekends. You're playing games on weeknights and weekends. And so not being afraid of the hard work is incredibly important. But I'd say along with that is raise your hand. I raised my hand for the role that I'm in currently. Nobody's going to raise your hand for you. You need to raise your hand. You need to be your biggest advocate, your biggest cheerleader, and have confidence. You may not always get to that next step when you think that you should be getting there, but you're going to get there. If you're raising your hand and you're willing to take on the extra work and show people what you can do, it will pay off.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Julie. We really appreciate your time. Congratulations on all the success and future success at Phoenix Raceway. And for all of you that tuned in today, thank you again for joining us on ASEC Conversations.